Golden State Republican women are proud and grateful to announce we have completed 2 full years under the leadership of founding President Janet Price. We had an incredibly strong founding team of Republican women with firmly established goals, but a lot of work ahead. 59 conservative women met August 2023 in Clovis, California for a planning weekend. We had already voted on our organization's name, so GSRW was off and running. We voted on a logo from among a host of talented entries to come up with our now familiar GSRW logo with the symbol from the California flag. Now it was time for the website, Facebook page, YouTube channel, email list, and getting the word out wherever possible. The team worked to put together standing rules, bylaws, and continue to hone the plan. We also got chartered by the California GOP. Like we said, our work was cut out for us as we swung into action. First thing on the agenda, elect President Trump to office. GSRW clubs around the state of California galvanized into action, planning and executing Trump caravans and helping fundraise. We began performing Trump Talk by logging into a special website and making phone calls for the campaign. Clubs all over the state put on parties for Trump and went all out. In March 2024, GSRW held a training conference at the Bel Air Presbyterian Church, which had been the church of Ronald and Nancy Reagan. The Leadership Institute sent in trainers, and we had a fabulous gathering. A huge thank you to Bill Wilson of Woodland Hills, husband of the late Victoria Wilson, for his financial support of the new Golden State Republican Women. Mr. Wilson was joined by a number of others, too numerous to name here, who generously gave of their time and offered donations to get us off the ground. GSRW featured its very first fundraiser for our fledgling organization in October 2024 at the Woodland Hills Country Club right before the presidential election. The night was magical. President Janet Price flew out several times to meet with folks in the Trump organization at Mar-a-Lago, informing them of our California political group. In late 2024, victory! GSRW officers and members jumped for joy at the election of President Donald J. Trump. Time for Thanksgiving, then Christmas. How fun it was to host an inauguration party for 180 Republicans at the historic Riley's Farm in Riverside County. Jim Riley had been harassed over his participation with January 6th, so he needed the support of our Republican women in the area. We had so much fun eating a delicious breakfast, sipping mimosas, watching the presidential inauguration, visiting with other Republicans, and in the end, we rocked out to the YMCA MAGA dance. We immediately began planning a board of directors meeting at Harris Ranch in May. Throughout the last 2+ years, GSRW have been planning, working, and executing to meet the needs of our clubs. In July, GSRW had a training conference at the Hyatt Regency Westlake. The Leadership Institute sent 2 very smart women to train us. New GSRW supporter attorney John Lee spoke on how to set up a Republican women's club in California and avoid taxes and problems. Which brings us here with you. You are what it is all about. We know that President Trump wants Republican women to mobilize in California. Our war is not won yet. We cannot rest on our laurels. The United States of America was surely saved through the election of President Trump. But what about California? We have a difficult political season approaching in which we will need to work together to elect a Republican governor. We have several choices at this time, but by next year we'll have it narrowed down to 1 by June. Are we going to be mobilized and ready for that battle? California doesn't want to be left out of the loop as the United States comes to prominence once more. But with the Democrats' thumb on the scale, how do we end the seemingly endless reign of liberalism? We must work together. Together, Republican women cannot be beat. And Golden State Republican women want to be at the forefront of the battle to return California to normalcy. At this very first GSRW Biennial Convention, we are turning the organization over to a new slate of officers who will need our moral support. Christina Rout, new GSRW President. Kathy Moreno, first Vice President. Fern Samosa, second Vice President. Karen Contreras, third Vice President. Cherie Gigliotti, 4th Vice President. At this time, we would like to thank a few women for their masterful work in founding GSRW and carrying the torch for the first term. 4th Vice President Tammy Galt had a very rough year with family loss and appreciates our prayers. Barbara Hallmeyer has been filling in for Tammy this year, but we want to thank Tammy for everything she has done to put GSRW on the map. 3rd Vice President Nancy Wofford has been both a VP in charge of political activities, but also District 5 Director. Thank you, Nancy. She works at the Reagan Library and carries quite a load of work. Nancy took up the writing and execution of the new contract with California, and we really appreciate all of her efforts. 2nd Vice President Karen Contreras also had family loss this year, and yet she worked very hard to keep GSRW on track with membership. Karen, we love you and are grateful for your wise leadership. 1st Vice President Gretchen Cox worked throughout the term with her daughter getting married and all of the extra time and energy demands of the program's chair. Gretchen, you are leaving a very difficult pair of shoes to fill. Thank you so much for everything you've done. Our founding GSRW President, Janet Price, has been a tower of strength for our entire team as we have moved forward through some difficult times, both personally and as an organization. Janet always kept a positive attitude. She seems to know everyone in politics worth knowing in Southern California area. Among many impressive and talented Golden State Republican women, Janet shines out. How can we thank our beloved president adequately for all she has done? God bless you, Janet. You've done a wonderful job seeing us through. And that brings us finally to you. Yes, we mean you. Each woman here at this convention has a part to play in California as we work to bring California out of the mess the Democrats have created. If you ever feel discouraged, remember how hard these fine women have worked to create this Republican Women's statewide organization. Consider the time, money, family pleasures, and fun with friends they sacrificed in order to make a big difference in California's future. Now we are counting on you. So step up, ladies, because California needs you.